we call ourselves, it's very audacious to call ourselves like that, but we call ourselves as the competency builders of the nation. So in the video we had Parul, Dr. Hemjit's daughter was there in the video, Bhavesh was there in the video. So I'm just going to quickly talk about three things. How do I encapsulate my journey? I still don't consider myself to be I don't still feel like I am an entrepreneur. I don't know what I am, but I'm just on a journey. And that's why I call myself as a journeypreneur rather than an entrepreneur, because I'm not a typical entrepreneur, but I'm very clear that I'm not an employee. so it's like been a very reluctant kind of an employee, even when I was an employee. But it taught me a lot. I got many mentors, great bosses, some absolutely fantastic ones, and some who inspired me to leave the job. so I got both kinds of bosses. People who mentored me and lovely to work with them, and there are some bosses I felt, boss, it's always better to be an entrepreneur when you work with them. They were very inspirational in my exit. So it's a SAV log mile, those kind of people also. But so when I started HSSE in 2009, and it's incredible that 15 years have passed, and it feels like I started yesterday. I still remember on 1st of July, 30th June was my last day, and I got a send-off, and I came back from Delhi where I was a zone training head. So I came back to Mumbai from Delhi, and this friend of mine called me and said that, Hari, welcome to the world of unlimited opportunities. Those are the words he used on July the 1st. I actually got up on his phone call, and he said, I welcome you to, his name is Hardeep Singh, and he said, welcome to the world of unlimited opportunities. So it's incredible. I mean, that sentence had stayed with me even after 15 years. And when I look back at the journey, what has changed? I think I have changed. Most importantly, I'm not the same person who started HSSE in 2009. A completely different person in 2024. And I have seen everything. I have seen some real highs in terms of addressing 6,000 people at the Ramoji Film City as a compeer for my client. There were 6,000 people at Ramoji Film City, and I interviewed Jackie Shroff live on stage. It was such a moment. We had a 10 minutes interaction on stage where I asked questions, and you can see it on my YouTube channel also. So that was just an amazing. I mean, just imagine I'm in front of 6,000 people. What a dream for a public speaker. And I have seen, because of mistakes that you make as an entrepreneur sometimes, I've seen almost everything that I built in 20 years of my career wiped out in the year 2013 and 2014. There was hardly any money left in the bank. And this was after 20 years of being a professional. So just imagine, you start your career in 1994 and you are almost bankrupt in 2024. There is a family to support, and I don't want to go back to a job. And I still want to continue with my business. So the entire rebuilding process then took another 10 years. And I completely take ownership for what happened in that period. I just made some big mistakes. And because of those mistakes, I got myself and my family into some serious trouble financially. But I don't know, somewhere the resilience, the perseverance, I don't know where it came from. Because whatever happened, when I look back and I say that entrepreneurs do make mistakes, and losing money is part of business. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, it depends on how it goes. So I think many people don't know what was that phase of life 10 years ago. It was horrible. I appeared for a couple of interviews also. I remember I went and spoke to Anand. There are people like Anand who held my hand at that point of time and said, it's okay, we will pull back. And it was really tough. And I went for a couple of interviews. And as I sat in the lobby waiting for the interview, I decided I'm not going to do a job again. Because I just did not feel a belongingness. I said, no, you're not made for this. You're going to go back and fight again. And I dedicate this day to my wife because she's the one who stood by me at that point of time. And she said, whatever you feel like doing, you do. Because it's very difficult to get a spouse who can handle this kind of madness and be with a mad guy like me. And it was not easy for her, it was not easy for me, but we somehow pulled through. And I think in 10 years' time, things are turned around substantially. But to hold on for those next 10 years has been one of the biggest tests of my life. So when I talk about resilience, I talk about perseverance, I talk with a lot of conviction, because I've lived that life and I'm living that life every day. So it's really tough. So I think entrepreneurship taught me to become a better person, get over some of my eccentricities, become more balanced in my approach, learn from my mistakes, and it's changed me as a person, completely changed me as a person. I think what helped me to kind of hold on is just the one thing. I was so much in love with this journey, so much. I met Bharat only after all that debacle had happened, and then I got into discovering mission, vision, and all that. But one thing I held on was, come what may, I don't want this journey to collapse. I held on to it like for dear life. I said, कुछ भी हो जाए, journey खत्म नहीं होना चाहिए. Somehow I was so much in love with this journey. Every day I used to pray to God, because whatever happens, don't let me fall off the journey. That will end the purpose of my life. I will not know what to do after that. I will not get that motivation back to go back and get back to a corporate life, to a designation. Somehow it didn't motivate me anymore. So Anand was talking about, I didn't go back to a corporate life. As recently as a few days back, I got a job offer from Dubai, which I obviously turned down. So it was not really an offer, but an exploration. Would you be interested, kind of a thing? I said no. Any consultancy, most welcome. We're delighted to do that, but not as an employee. And I'm not at all saying. In fact, what is interesting is, I started respecting people who can build careers as employees much more after I left that space. I said, these guys can do something which I'm not capable of doing. The longest I lasted in a 20-year career was with Max New York Life for 5.5 years. So my average existence in an organization was not really great. I would have changed 4 or 5 jobs. I changed few careers. I started in research, went into journalism for 6 years, came into training in education sector as a soft skills trainer, then an insurance trainer, then an entrepreneur. So the longest I have survived in my career is my entrepreneurship. So this journey is so much. I mean, I can't imagine my life if this is what I am not doing. It's incredible. I mean, and I think that journey has meant the most to me in all these years. So the person who started HSSE is not the same person who's running HSSE right now. And that's been a sea change, complete reinvention. And I still feel, I still carry some of those weaknesses. And they surface. The undercurrents are there. They suddenly surface, and I said, what the hell are you doing? You're behaving like what you were behaving few years ago when you're not supposed to behave like that. Hello. So there's a lot of self-talk that goes in. So I'm completely obsessed with HSSE. They say you have culture for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I have HSSE for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I just can't imagine anything. And Anand knows, some of my other friends here know, it's been absolute dry days in my life. And not just dry days, I mean dry years in my life. I've gone through years without having enough work. And being a very hard-working guy. It's not that people don't get work because maybe they are not selling, maybe they are not actually meeting people, maybe they are not networking, maybe they are not trying at the highest level and still going through some very dry periods. So thankfully that has changed quite a bit now. So the things are looking good, touch wood, God's grace. So what keeps the journey on? So it all boils down to PVMB. What's the purpose of the organization? If you go to the website, the company website, you will see that it says that, and also if you saw in the little short film, it talks about competency. So our purpose in life as HSSE is to make society more competent. That's our job. We want to help society become more competent. So what do we mean by that? Whether it's a sales competency, whether it's a leadership competency, whether it is communication competency, whether it is becoming a better employee, becoming a better entrepreneur, anything related to people development. We want to help people become more competent through training, through assessments, through coaching, mentoring, whatever methodology you might use. So that's the purpose. The vision has always been to build a learning empire. I imagine HSSE as a mall. So where anything related to people development, you just pick up off the shelf and it's available for you. You want to become a better parent, there is a training program for you. You want to become a better communicator, there is a program for you. You want to become a better leader, there is a program for you. You want to become a better salesperson, there is a program for you. So anything related to people development, behavioral patterns or soft skills as we call it, which are actually becoming essential skills now, very highly essential skills. You want to become a better entrepreneur, we have a program for you. That's always been the dream, to build a learning mall, to build a learning empire, and to become the world's most exciting training company. So all this entertainer philosophy that you see, it flows from there. That how do we make learning exciting? How do we make learning very engaging, fun? So that it's not only what you learn, but you go back with the experience. You go back with the memory that wow, what a program it was. It's like watching a wow film. It's like watching your favorite hero perform and you coming out with the feeling that wow, what a film. So people should say wow, what a program. And I'm sure few days later people don't remember what they learned, but they will always carry that experience in their heart. And that is what our attempt at HSSE is. How do we provide people with that experience? I must tell you that trainer was amazing. That company does amazing training. But what did you learn? I don't remember. But you should experience it. So it's almost like running a movie. So all this, putting all my talents to space. Short films, it's a new obsession. Just because I did a short online course on that. So making short films, doing some drama, doing some singing, and everything, all these talents come into our training program. So for the benefit of our visitors, so we have a theme song for the Liz project, Madhuban Khushbu Deta Hai. And I have been using that theme song for all my other clients also. So I recently got a call from Mr. Yesudas that even I am not so fond of this song. Why are you singing it so often? So we have this theme song called Madhuban Khushbu Deta Hai. And we sang it. We sing it at the beginning of every foundation course that we conducted. So it's a beautiful song, a lot of meaning. So that's the vision, to build a learning empire, a learning mall, and to build the world's most exciting training company. Somebody asked me just a few days back, a young professional. They said, "What's your vision for HSSE 15 years from now?" We're completing 15 years. Hopefully, I'll still be around. And 15 years from now, I said, hopefully we will have a global presence. We'll be there in different countries, and hopefully that's where we will get to. So now, what's the mission? And even when we were doing our PVMBA here, we said the mission is most important. You may have a great purpose, you may have a great vision, but mission is your vision and purpose in action. So what's your mission? So mission has always been to inspire ordinary people to become extraordinary through the power of fun-based learning. So nothing gives me a greater joy to see ordinary professionals, ordinary people like us, common people, become uncommon through the journey of learning. So that's the mission. And this I picked up in the insurance industry. I still love doing training in life insurance, especially for agent advisors, especially because they are the ones who inspired me to find my purpose in life. Because I connected so beautifully with them, though I was not a salesperson. But I connected so beautifully with them that I went on to become only one of the 6 sales zone training heads in the company. Though I did not come from a sales background. Not because I was excellent in sales. I'm still not excellent in sales. But because I connected. And I could identify myself with them. So there's a long story behind it. We'll not get into that. What's the values? What are the values? Of course, the normal, usual values are there, of course, like integrity or helping people and helping clients and all that. But if I were to pick out one extremely important value system that we try to practice at HSSE, And whenever I get a chance to collaborate with people like Parul or Bhavesh or Anand or any of the other trainers like Dilip and KG, who are both part of the project Mashal also, one of the things we completely try to focus on is hyper customization, not just customization. So even when we did the program for Sood Life, or we do any other program, we went to Ethiopia last year, a very different market, completely different. Training people in insurance in India and training people in insurance in Ethiopia is a two planets actually. But so we got into, we put in weeks of preparation for that, weeks of preparation, and we adapted on the floor also. We had to adapt on the floor. So it's hyper customization, it's not just customization. So which is why when we were discussing Project Mashal, I requested Prabhu sir that please send me to the sites. Without getting a feel of the sites, I will not be as efficient in delivering this project as as is desired. So I think that was an eye opener. Going to the plants, spending half a day in Balco, spending half a day in Dolvi was a complete eye opener. I said, if this is the nature of the job they do, it's only salute to them, and it's only an honor. And in complete humility, I'm saying it's only an honor to actually conduct a workshop or a project like this for these people, because they do a very hard job. There are many people on the sites who come from outside other cities. They're settled there. They don't go home for 9-10 months. They've not seen their family for months together. And they're living a very hard life, very engineered, very structured life. You cannot mess up with any of the processes. It's not like any of the other industries that we are acquainted with. So it's incredible. So I think, and because I did those visits, I am now able to, I still don't understand a lot of the engineering stuff that happens, but I understand the temperament and the difficulty with which people are working there. So I'm able to bring in those elements into the workshop, because there is customization. So and that's something we very, very strongly believe in as a value system, that you don't go with your ready-made programs and you say this is this certified, that certified, and this is the formula for you to be successful. No. So we have a program, but we will further customize it as per the requirements of the client. So there is a lot of work, and I think something like what Sanjeevani and the team do at mine is very similar to this. That we don't have anything which we pick out of the shelf and say this is for you. Whatever is there for you needs to be done, we will design it. And I think that hyper customization is something which has evolved within HSSE over the last few years. So I spoke about my journey, and there is so much I can speak about this journey. Maybe I need to write about it later. We spoke about the PVMV, the purpose, vision, mission, and values. Now, what is the one critical thing? If I were to look back in 15 years and say, what is the one thing we have done in entrepreneurship, in training, in the training business, which nobody else has done? And you can take the biggest of names in training and development globally, they wouldn't have done this. They would have done it in their own way, but they wouldn't have done what we have achieved, and that is our product capability. We have an incredible product capability, and I'm very proud of that. And it's not happened only because of me, of course. There has been support coming in from people like Niharika, people like Anand, people like Dilip Sharma, people like KG. They've all contributed a lot to developing this product's capability. So I want to talk about our 5 key products, which can be broken up into smaller sections of programs. But the one thing at the top of the list is the corporate training basket. You look at freelancers, typically, you would, and I'm saying this with total respect to them, I'm just giving an example. They would be good at delivering 5 or 6 programs maybe, and many of them build a niche around what they want to be known for and what they are good at. At HSSE, because I have been very flexible and because that's my temperament, I've never been able to say that this is my niche and this is what I will do and this is not what I will do. I said, whatever comes my way, if it is helping people to become better people, I'm happy to do that if I have the capability to deliver it. I think we are capable of delivering more than 50 different types of corporate training programs. And my bread and butter has always come from the world which I left as an employee, which is the corporate world. That's the irony of life. So I'm a complete admirer of the corporate world by being outside of it, not being inside it. So that's the irony of life. But the entire, so completely B2B guy, trying to break open into B2C. There has been attempts, some success, some failures. So it's still not stabilized there. But at heart, I realized, and I was having this conversation with Jui, one of my very close associates, who's based in Delhi. I said, our strength is corporate training. Let's focus on that. We are B2B. Let's go to where people are already there and help them. So we can deliver more than 50 different types of behavioral programs, which is an incredible thing to do because it's a very widespread. It's very widespread. So we have on Excel the kinds of programs that we can actually deliver, and it's very widespread. And that has come because every assignment has been a learning experience. They would say, can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? I may not be able to do it immediately, but I can prepare for it. So the beauty is coming up with something, coming up with a program is a learning experience. So one is our corporate training capability. Second is the entertainer certification. Now, we have a gentleman in this room because of whom this entertainer trademark happened, and that is Mr. Shailesh Samant. Because one day I did a program for LIC, and many years ago, and once it concluded, he stood up and said that was not just a training program, it was an enter-training program. So he's the one who coined that word actually. And then it struck me that people talk about personal branding and you should have a name for yourself and all that. Then I discussed this with one of my other clients, Dr. Iyer, and he said you should immediately trademark it. And that's how he introduced me to an IPR lawyer, to somebody who connected me to an IPR lawyer, and I received my first of the 3 trademarks that I hold. So one is the entertainer trademark, which is, so it's now an entertainer certification program. We have done more than something like 125 entertainers we have certified in the last few years, including one corporate, couple of organizations actually. Second trademark, Niharika can also take the credit for that, which is our KAI survey, Corporate Holistic Fitness Instrument. We developed a survey. So HSSE holds a trademark for the logo. And then there is keys, which is, so in terms of the direction that the organization is taking, keys is going to become a very critical part of it. So Sanjeevani and me are already working on how to scale up this product, and at Liz, the leadership team and some of the other managers are going to experience the keys assessment and start working on the reports. So these are 3 trademarks I hold in my own name: Entertainer for the KAI logo, and this keys. So keys trademark I received only this year. And so we spoke about corporate training basket, entertainer certification, the survey, the holistic survey that we have developed. So the holistic survey has got a very interesting aspect to it. It is about, it understands the training needs of an organization by conducting a survey. And in the communication program, we did the Navrasa activity. So it actually captures the 9 emotions of the Navrasa in the survey. So it can be done as a separate survey to understand which employee is coming to the workplace carrying predominantly what kind of emotion out of the Navrasas. So thanks to Niharika, it's a genius product that she has developed. And so we spoke about corporate training basket, entertainer certification, the holistic survey. Keys is very, very close to my heart. Everything is, of course, but keys especially because it's again, both KAI and keys have one common thing. They both have been inspired by the practice of energy. So I've been a meditator for more than 3 decades, Reiki practitioner. So somewhere, but they've got nothing to do with meditation or energy, but they've been inspired by that experience of energy. Some of you have already experienced the keys assessment. Amitabh sir has experienced the keys assessment, so has Bhavesh, so has Sanjeevani, so has Ashish, Anand, so many of you have already experienced the keys assessment. Parul also. Bharat, have you experienced the keys assessment?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So, and of course, all of you will experience the keys assessment. It's the product. I think it's just landed on our lap. God is very kind, and it's something amazing. Is what I feel, and I'll not let out too much about it right now. We will talk about it when we do our one-to-one interaction. Know your energy wiring system. Something very different. Not a psychometric test. It's an energy-based assessment, completely based on Indian ethos. It's not, most of the psychometric instruments, they all come from the Western world. Yeah, but this is something completely based on Indian ethos with a global perspective and a relevance. So you will get to experience it eventually. The last thing which I am holding on for dear life as a community is LCC, the Learning Champions Club. Why am I saying holding on to dear life? Is because we are fighting a battle there to ensure the community stays alive. It's an online learning community we have created. Almost 2 years now, actually. We started in March 2023. So it's like more than 1.5 years. And we meet once in 15 days for learning sessions. So Dr. Hemje, Parul, they are all part of the LCC community. And people conduct short sessions in that. It's an online community. And the dream behind that community is not just that people should come and teach something and we should learn. That's of course there. But people should collaborate. I remember my boss 20 years ago when I joined this insurance company, and he told me one sentence. He said, trainers are very poor team players. I said, wow, what a statement to make. He said, trainers are very poor team players because every trainer likes to be the Amitabh Bachchan in his life. He likes the spotlight. And that's why we become trainers, isn't it? We like people to listen to us, and we have to hold the spotlight. That's something we're trying to change at HSSE. And we already set the example. All the collaborators that we have at HSSE are all independent trainers in themselves. They do their own stuff, I do my own stuff, but we also work together. So Keys has been developed along with Dilip Sharma, Kai has been developed along with Niharika. A lot of the corporate training programs, Parul has also contributed there, Anand has contributed there. So it's incredible. Now I'm also associated with Mayan, so we are trying to work on a few things. So it's incredible. It's incredible how much potential exists in collaboration amongst trainers. But it's a point which is missed because everybody likes to be in their own little superstardom space. And we are saying, enjoy that, but also work as a team. There's so much we can do together. There's so much we can do together. You know, it's incredible. So product capability of HSSE is what gives me the optimism that this company is going to become a legendary company one day. Not because of I am a great trainer, or of course that is important, that you have to be a good trainer, or not just because we have great trainers who are associated with the company, but nobody in the world has these products that I just spoke to you about. Except of course the corporate training basket. We are not the only people who can conduct those kind of programs. Many people can do it, but we bring in our flavor there. But our canvas is really widespread. Not many people have that canvas, or many companies have that kind of canvas. But whether it's the entertainer certification or the survey or the Learning Champions Club or the Keys assessment, I think if there is one good thing that's happened in the last 15 years, it's the product capability. It's incredible how, and I mean, it's very difficult for me to express in terms of just how huge this potential is. Because one day it has to translate into results, and then we will see, wow, what a product we have created. But I know what we have created, and something like Project Mashal is what we want to do repeatedly for various clients, because that actually creates a transformation. Not a one-off session or a one-day program or a two-day program. And I was telling Prabhu sir that your company is getting the opportunity to take everything that I have, and I am getting the opportunity to give everything that I have. You know, so it's a beautiful partnership. Rare to find such people, such clients, but I think slowly the game is changing. So once again, thank you very much for making this day so special for me. 15 years I've never done an HSSE Founders Day celebration. So for the first time, I decided to do it because for the first time I felt up to acha kar raha hai. In 14 years I did not get that feeling that tu bahut acha kar raha hai. But for the first time I felt nahi was. I think now you're getting somewhere. You know, I'm seeing the traction on LinkedIn I'm seeing the traction on social media. I'm seeing how much people are reaching out. And I just want to end by saying persistence is the only biggest factor in success. Everything else is just a sidekick. And we have seen it, we are seeing this we saw it in the India New Zealand test series. What happened? They just don't know how to hang in there. 5-day test match is over in 2.5 days. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, you just can't let that happen. It's because they don't know how to hang in there. They have to hang in there. And it comes with a lot of resilience and persistence. And this generation and this world is missing it. And I think somewhere we can be role models for that, nothing like it. So I just want to end by saying, like you have power of compounding in investment, you have a power of compounding in career development and in business. The longer you hang in your career, and many people in Liz are a living example of that. 10 years, 14 years. You've been there. You are a living example in your own career, how long you have been serving one organization. So, and today's generation thinks if you're around in one organization for more than 2 years, there is some problem with you. There's no problem with you. You have to hang around in one place to make something substantial out of it. So I think the longer you last in one space, the chances are that you will really grow it to a legendary level. And I think that's what I'm trying to practice, the power of compounding in business. Hang in there, keep doing the processes, do the controllable every day, be there passionately, and hope the results will come the way you want it. Because you can only hope for it. You cannot determine that. You cannot have any control over it. So thank you so much for this day and for this moment. I will cherish this for a very long time, and hopefully going forward every year we'll get this celebration bigger and bigger, but it's the beginning of a completely new chapter in HSSE. Thank you so much and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. So before we close, we'll just take 5 minutes, then some tea and snacks we have organized for all of you. Anybody would like to make a closing comment, share anything? I'll leave 5 minutes. So anybody wants to make one last comment?
Hari, let's do a group picture.
Yeah, that will of course.
Before anybody leave, people want to leave.
Yeah, we'll of course. Nobody, the Roma is not allowing anybody to leave without my permission.
I just have to make one comment.
Yes.
Hari, I want to respect you on that personal loss which you had and how you handled it. There are times in our lives when we face personal losses, and I have faced personal losses. But the way you handled it and moved on from the next day onwards, I want to respect you.
Thank you, sir. So, on that note, I would just like to say that there is one thing my wife always wanted, is that I should make HSSE into a big entity. And I should be very successful because she saw my struggle. She saw my, and she was a co-partner in that struggle, in that journey. So she felt it and she lived that stress along with me. So every minute I feel that she's blessing this whole journey. So things have dramatically changed since she left the world. It's very funny, but I think she just went up and did some setting there. But thanks for that, Ram.
Hari, I want to share one moment.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, this is something that so we both go a long way, and we fortunately met because of one of our close friends, okay, who unfortunately happens to be in Bangalore.
Yeah.
We were doing this Women Power Summit 2019, like 21, NSC. No, 19.
Before COVID.
Before COVID, we were doing this entrepreneurship summit on women entrepreneurs that we do every year, right? And suddenly we see our professor Asha Gala.
Yeah.
And same evening, I think she posts a message saying that it's very good to see two of our bright students of NSS coming together and creating an impact. I think that itself is a great compliment because I think gurus की blessings के बिना तो हम कुछ भी नहीं है. And when you have their presence physically and blessings, I think nothing better than that. I think that only comes when you have a very clean heart, a very clean conscience, and a willingness to give back. I think that is what I always speak when I speak to a lot of students. इसका एक बड़ा अच्छा डायलॉग है जो मुझे हमेशा याद रहेगा. पहले देना बैंक बनो फिर लेना बैंक बनो. I think that intent itself comes with very few people, with the world that we have, the kind of selfishness that we have, and blessed to have friends like this, like Anand, like everyone. I think I've made a lot of great family, over the period of so many years. So Hari, thanks so much.
Thank you, Bhavesh. Thank you. So where do we take a picture? We do it inside or
We can't do
out
it
here?
sir, because
We'll have to go
get
step out.
everybody
Right?
will have to
Yeah.
go outside.
Okay.
Bhavesh, we are missing our Sammy, no?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Video band.
Oh, we were live on Facebook?